Hey there, how you doing? I've been an O Tudor here, your health and wellness coach here in Atlanta. It's a cold day. They might even have snow tomorrow, so we'll see. But I'm keeping warm. How about you? I have a question for you. This is Dr. King's birthday week. He would be celebrating what, like 101? Give thanks and praise for his strength, his power, and the legacy of love for people that he left. So I have a question for you, because it actually does relate to um, Black people, especially Black women that suffer from so many diseases, right? What did Dr. King eat? Hmm. Dr. King, like so many of his peers and family and friends, ate the standard diet that was offered in the 50s and 60s, right? So that means he ate probably mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, fish, pork chops, ham hocks, chicken. He ate all of these things, right? And we know now that a lot of those foods that I just mentioned are wreaking havoc, especially in the African American community, but we continue to eat them um, because this is the traditional way, this is what we're used to, right? But we have to ask the question, is this the food, the type of food that's sustaining good health, right? And back then, we didn't have vegan restaurants. We couldn't go to the supermarket and pick up a package of anything that said plant based, right? There probably was not a lot of options then, right? So, Dr. King and his peers of that time did the best that they could with what they had. I remember growing up, my grandparents, their home out in the country was nice because they had their own garden, they had their own chicken coop, and then their neighbors had goats and pigs, so that they raised themselves. So there wasn't a lot of additives in the food, even though it was meat. The dyes, the chemicals, the all of that stuff was not in the meat, right? So the internal workings and health of our families was uh, not as challenged as it is now because we have a totally different food system, right? My both of my parents had cancer, um, so we really have to take a really close and sincere look at why we're so sick now. Okay, let's look at what's going on in the food system of today. So we're fast forwarding from Dr. King's time of the 50s and 60s to now it's 2026. What's really going on with the food? We have hybridized food, we have non-organic food, we have GMO or genetically modified food, we have food that's doesn't even have seeds in it, right? So let's talk a little bit about what's the issue with those four things I mentioned: hybridized food, the non-organic food, the genetically modified organism food, and the unseeded food. Hybrid food can be something as simple um, as a tomato, right? Uh, they can uh, grow it, and it is grown with something that is not a regular part of the tomato plant. They can add certain things to it that are not in a natural part of the tomato plant. And so, what this does is it causes health challenges over time, right? Uh, let's look at the non organic foods, what we call conventional foods, right? Um, these foods are grown with pesticides and depleted soil that is not uh, um, fertile. It's been chemicalized. It's been added. Certain processes have been natural processes have been kind of devalued or overlooked. So they're just chemicalizing the food. And guess what? When we eat the non-organic food, we're also eating the chemicals that were sprayed on the non-organic food, right? And then we have the GMO, the genetically modified foods. There have been studies to show that these genetically modified foods can lead to health outcomes that are very bad, starting with cancer. So we need to really, really take a look at packaging. I saw something in a store. I picked up some granola just to look and read the label, and it said GMO. I immediately put that down. Why does my granola need to be genetically modified? It's oats and raisins and maybe a few nuts thrown in, right? It's a simple food, a simple process. Why does it have to be genetically modified? So when they genetically modify it, they're changing the structure of the food. And if you change the structure of the food and you eat that, you're changing the structure of your body as well. This is one of the reasons we're so sick. So let's talk about unseeded. I went to the market and it's a common thing now. It's a very common thing. When I saw it, I don't know, a year or two ago, I thought it was strange. It's still strange to me. Very odd that there's such a thing as an unseeded fruit or vegetable. It does not make sense to me. It's like, to me, it's like a woman walking around here with empty ovaries. How is a woman going to be creating life if she has no seeds inside of her ovaries? Think about that. How are you going to create a body full of life if you're ingesting and consuming on a regular basis foods that have no seeds in them? And I know. We love our seedless grapes because it's convenient. We love the unseeded watermelon because it's convenient. We don't like to take the time to spit out the seeds, right? But yo, that convenience is really wreaking havoc on our health. So I want to think through this clearly with you and get you to see that maybe with the hybridization going on, with the non organic or what we call conventional foods, with the genetically modified foods, with the unseeded foods, maybe, just maybe, there's a correlation between those things and the rate of disease, especially for Black women. The rates of heart disease and have never been higher for Black women. The rates of um, very bad maternal outcomes have never been worse for Black women. The rate of diabetes, kidney disease has never been worse for Black women. Why? Ask yourself why. We can do better, y'all. Look at your food. At the very least, eat food that has seeds in it. You can start there. If you can eat organic, please eat organic. And please, family, read the labels on your food. If it says genetically modified, think twice. Hybrid foods, they're a little bit harder to understand if you're eating a hybrid food or not. Uh, but if it don't look like what you used to eat, it's looking strange, it's tasting strange. Those tomatoes I mentioned earlier that are hybridized, they don't even have no taste, y'all. They don't taste like tomatoes. So, nature gives you clues. And use your common sense. You got to pay attention, right? So please like, subscribe, share, and definitely consider and take to heart the next time you go shopping, think about what I said and reach for the seeded fruit and vegetables, if nothing else. Reach for those. Your body will love you for it, and it will be able to recognize the seeded food as real food. Peace and light. Love you much, and we'll talk again soon.